What's up, guys? Tony Hannity's here, and welcome to the first episode of the LTG Mobile Moment. This is an experimental show. This is a beta, so I'm not quite sure if we're going to keep doing this. I did this probably about a year ago with, I believe, Tony's Tech Talk and a few other things as well, too. But looking at the news today, I realized that during our LTG show, which we record live on Tuesday night around 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, PM. There's a lot of stuff we don't really talk about, but that can be newsworthy, at least on a day-to-day basis. And being as such that I have a huge background in mobile and cell phones and smartphones, tablets, wearables, things like that, I figured, if you are willing to watch, I'm willing to talk, and we will go ahead and talk about a few of those things on a day-to-day basis that come out from that particular day. So let's go ahead and get started. Today is April 1st, and so what that means for a lot of people is that today is going to be filled with a bunch of jokes, pranks, and one of the first things that actually came out on the 31st of March that made a lot of us kind of look sideways at was the Amazon little button, the dash button, if you will. And if you haven't yet seen it, well, here it is. This is the button, and they're promoting bounty right there. And so for those of you who don't understand how the button works, basically you have a button for every single brand of I guess of things that need replenishment in your home. So toilet paper, paper towel, dryer sheets, laundry detergent, things like that. And when you get low, you can hit the button, and over Wi-Fi, the button will automatically do an automatic purchase of whatever the item is. And within a few days, because you're a Prime member, you'll receive it in the mail. Now, because it came out on the 31st, and there are a lot of pranks related to April Fools come out on the 31st, a good amount of people thought that it was a joke. Apparently, it's not. According to Amazon, they have confirmed that the Amazon Dash is no joke, that they are very serious about it, and they hope that other people will come to terms and realize that it actually does have a good place in the home. And as I mentioned yesterday, there's definitely a lot of use cases where this could be very beneficial. Diapers is definitely one of those where you're coming close down to the wire. You can, have enough diapers to last you a few more days. And during that time frame where you're waiting for some more diapers to show up at your doorstep, you just press that button, voila, and you'll get some Pampers in the mail. And that is the one other thing that people are a little bit weary about. Like, do I have to get Pampers? Do I have to get Bounty? Do I have to get, these particular brands? As it is right now, yes, the brands themselves have to sign up and they have to be part of this program. But maybe go to your favorite brand, whoever that is, and say, hey, you should be a part of this program because I buy your stuff on Amazon, and I'd like, instead of being part of the renewal, the subscription thing where they just send you the diapers no matter what every month, I'd like for you to be part of this program that I can just literally push a button and within a few days I get your product. So be vocal if you really want to try this out. And it is invite only for Prime members only. But yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I know yesterday when I talked about it on the LTG show, I did mention that they have the idea that this would be a platform that other manufacturers could actually incorporate the button within their hardware. So if you take a GE dryer or a GE washer, in the dryer washer itself, it would have a button. So you are low on dryer sheets, you just press the button. Or if you're low on detergent, you just press the button, and the same thing would happen. In a few days, you would get, your dryer sheets and your detergent. Obviously, you'd have to have money in the account, but for the most part, that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I just find it funny that Boy Genius Report isn't the only website that reported this. A lot of websites were reporting that Amazon had to confirm that it was actually no joke whatsoever. Another piece of news that finally came out today, which was actually a big thing for me, seeing that as I'm a Verizon wireless customer, Verizon has finally enabled their customers to completely opt out of the super cookie tracking program. So again, if you're not familiar with super cookies, let's go back to what cookies are. Cookies, aside from them being the scrumdiddlyumptious little treats that we, from time to time grab, in internet terms, basically it is digital breadcrumbs or digital cookie crumbs that you leave behind, so the website can track your search patterns and they can track what websites you go to. Sometimes you'll go to a website that says we use cookies for you to use our website. You need to enable cookies. And if you don't want to use cookies, well, then you can't use our website. And for the most part, we're fine with that because, we want to get the information off of whatever website that we went to. So we kind of just grin and bear it. But what Verizon was doing was, even if you opted out of this original program, it was still basically recording and taking all the data of your web trafficking and all the things that you would be looking up and reselling that to the Verizon partners with their advertising partners. And obviously, this is something that we don't like. Like, if I opt out of something, that means I want to have nothing to do with it whatsoever, whatever the case may be. And for whatever reason, Verizon said, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. But at the same time, we won't. And it just seems a little two-faced. And, I didn't really throw down and, grab my gun or anything like that. I'm still a Verizon Wireless customer. But when I found out that we can completely opt out of this, I went to the website to be able to do that. And so for those of you that are out there that are Verizon Wireless customers, all you got to do is go to vzw.com/myprivacy. Log in with your Verizon Wireless credentials, and then you'll see the list of all of your phone numbers on your particular account. And you can either opt in, and there's basically little bubbles that you press, or you opt out, and there's all the bubbles according to the phone numbers that you want to opt out on. So I opt out on all of my phone numbers, and it save changes. Simple as that. And this obviously doesn't change your browsing habits or anything like that. But should you go to maybe a nefarious website or something on your phone that you'd rather not be tracked on for marketing purposes or advertising purposes, from Verizon's standpoint, you won't have to worry about that. Now, if you're using Chrome, you're going to have to deal with that with Google, but that's not Verizon. That's Google being Google. But no, this was obviously very good news for as a personal Verizon customer. So I just want to put that PSA out to you guys. Now, another interesting thing that came out from the Pew studies, there was from the Pew Research Center, they had a recent survey that basically pointed out that only 7% of Americans only use their phone for internet access. Now, what I mean by that is it's not that they just go on their phone only for internet. I mean that any kind of internet access that's out there in the world, at least here in the United States, the only 7% will go on the internet using their phone. Like, they don't have a home computer to be able to access that on. They don't go to, if there's an internet cafe, if those still exist, they don't go there. They don't go to the library. They just use their phone. And it's just interesting to me how the dichotomy has changed where, using the internet to a degree for some people was a huge chore. You had to, back in the day, which was a Wednesday, but back in the day, you had to make sure nobody was using the home phone, and you can get on, and then no one else could obviously use the home phone, or no one's using the fax machine. Then there was DSL, and it was a little bit quicker, but it got kind of expensive for that time frame. And then going to college, you had your college campuses with computer labs, or you went to the library, and there was all these other means to get internet because obviously we didn't have it on our person. But the fact that we have the whole World Wide Web in our pockets at our beck and call, we no longer have to go to a computer or, to a tablet. We can just pull out our iPhone or Nexus 6s, and everything will be on there, pretty much except for Flash, but everything will be on there exactly as we expect it to be. And currently, using the phone 100% only of all their internet connection, these 7% people are, I guess, I wouldn't say totally happy. I don't know if they're completely happy, but for their means of what they can afford and what works best for them, internet is on their phone, and that's it. So the Pew Research Lab also um, made a good point. Roughly about 13% of Americans make $30,000 per year or less than that, which makes them rely exclusively to what's on their phone. So um, now, it's interesting that part of this also said that 1% of those that are making $75,000 a year or up are actually doing the same too. So it it obviously doesn't necessarily matter how much you're making. It just means what works best for you. So, in my day-to-day job, when I go out there, I bring my Surface with me everywhere, but my Surface is Wi-Fi only. So I could connect it to my hotspot of my phone, or I could go to the Starbucks or whatever. But depending on what it is that I need to be able to access, sometimes I'll just pull my phone out. So I do see where having the internet on the phone is king over everything else. But I still couldn't live without internet on my computer. I mean, I couldn't do this with you guys. Well, I guess I could, but the quality of the video wouldn't be so good. If this is good quality to you, then this quality on the phone would be terrible. And one thing that was announced today in terms of hardware is that if you had any need, or if you wanted to pick up the Blackberry Leap, this was actually originally announced, I believe, back at Mobile World Congress. The Blackberry Leap is available for pre-order here in the United States, the UK, Germany, but not Canada. Now, so some of you might be asking, wait a minute, BlackBerry, that's in Waterloo, Canada. Why would they not have that available to Canadians as a pre-order? Well, I guess one, not rumor, but one theory is that when it comes out, majority of the shipment and everything is going to be available for Canada themselves, and all the other countries are going to be not an afterthought, but they might get it. They might get it a little bit later. So, case in point, let's just say that this becomes available on April 10th. Canadians will be able to get it on April 10th, but the rest of us who have pre-ordered it probably won't get it until maybe April 11th or April 12th. And I mean, there's many times when people pre-order an iPhone, even though it's not exclusive to one particular country or another. You pre-order an iPhone here in the United States, there's a high possibility you're not going to get it on the date that it's supposed to hit the shelves. Because it's being mailed to you, you might get it a day later. But I don't know. I don't know if you necessarily need to read between the lines of this, but it's just interesting that with regards to what was reported, the Canadians aren't going to be able to get it. Now, to iterate on what the BlackBerry Leap is exactly, it's a 5-inch display, resolution of 720 by 1280. Under the hood, you're looking at a Snapdragon 8960 CPU. It's a 1.5 gigahertz processor with an Adreno 225 GPU. Has 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of native storage. You can actually expand that storage with up to 128 gigabyte micro SD, a 2800 milliamp battery, front and back facing cameras with both 2 and 8 megapixel respectively, and running BlackBerry 10 OS. Okay, that's cool. For $350, if you need a really ultra secure, enterprise-esque kind of experience, maybe the BlackBerry works for you. I'm not going to talk bad about it because, it's not as prevalent as even Windows Phone, but for some people, BlackBerry is the solution. I was actually at a Microsoft event and I saw a couple of people with Z10s. I was like, all right, go you. If it works for you, I am not going to hate. The BlackBerry operating system also allows you to side load Android apps, and it's kind of having to trick the Android app into a degree to run, and it doesn't run smoothly whatsoever. And when you side load things, sometimes you run into a bunch of other problems, but you could put Android apps on your BlackBerry 10 device. So, hey, to each their own. Now in application news, I personally, being that I work for Microsoft, um, I have been waiting for the day where people could actually use those little swipey things with the credit cards and plugging it into the headphone jack. Because Square, there's PayPal, there's a lot. Even Office Depot has their own solution, but up until now, it really only worked on iOS and Android. And as of today, with PayPal here, the application called PayPal here, both on the phone, tablets, and the computer, you can download the Windows 8 app or the Windows Phone 8 app and actually use the little PayPal swipey card thing. So the app itself is free, obviously, and then the little unit, you can either get it from PayPal directly and they will ship it to you for free, or you can buy it in store. And the first transaction that you have, um, then you can send in, I guess, some sort of voucher proving that you've used it, and then they'll send you back like a $15 check. So at the end of the day, the little swipey thing ends up being free. But yeah, this will be available as a service in the U.S., Australia, Hong Kong, and a pilot program initiated in China. With regards to the transaction fee, 2.7, so pretty standard across the board. And so it's a solution. So, I know the Girl Scout cookies, the Girl Scouts been using, they've been using Square. And I don't know if it's, dependent on troop, for example, but if the troop leader, the den mother, or the den dad, or whoever, they have a Windows phone, now they have a solution to be able to take in those transactions no matter what. So there's no excuse not to get cookies, which is really not a good thing for me. A new app that came out of Facebook. This was kind of coming out of left field. I don't think they said anything about this over at F8 last week, but one thing that's really popular these days are, obviously viral videos. And the one thing that makes viral videos so good is the collaboration. We've seen a lot of like Vine and Instagram stars work with each other. Obviously, it makes more sense if they live in the same area, like LA or New York or something like that, San Francisco. But the fact of the matter is sometimes there's just not a means for you to work with that person. So Facebook has created an application that is available for both iOS and Android, and it's called Riff, Riff, and it looks something like this. So if you look here, you can actually watch videos made by your friends. You can add two videos with your friends, and then you can share the video. So what that means is it's kind of its own pseudo social network, kind of like how Instagram is under Facebook to a degree. And you can just go through the feed and just watch a bunch of like funny videos that are made by your friends. And I'm assuming, and this is me not actually trying the app out in full yet, I'll probably do that a little bit later on tonight. The videos, you can probably follow certain people just like you do on Facebook, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be their Facebook friends. And but however, if you do have Facebook friends using Riff, both of you or as many friends as you want can create your own video in which all of you collaborate, and then you would be able to publish that video. And no matter where you are in the world, that one video that has been created by you can then be shared to all of your friends and family, not just on Facebook, but it can be stored to your camera roll and you can share it to things like Google Plus or 15 seconds worth on Instagram. And it's actually a cool idea. And so basically this is an example of the way that it works. I'm assuming that there's sound, because there's no sound in this particular video, but this is a GIF of how Riff works. But you just basically add your own clip. And it's kind of a fun idea. I don't know. I don't know what Facebook is trying to get out of it. If there's like the ability that they could insert ads in between the video feed that you're watching. I mean, pretty similar to what they've done on Instagram already, which, truth be told, isn't that bad. I see maybe one ad a day. I'm not hating on it whatsoever. It's fine. And sometimes I'll like double click it to like it without even realizing that it's an ad. So, hey, they got me. Good job, Facebook. But yeah, no, this is kind of an interesting idea. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see how it works, and I'll probably throw a review or something up online maybe later on tonight or tomorrow. You log in with your Facebook. I'm doing it right now. You log in with your Facebook account. So let's see what happens. So if you're just joining us right now, we're testing out a new Facebook app called Riff, which was announced earlier today, April 1st. Oh. So I don't know who started this video exactly, but this is of Inside Twit, hashtag Inside Twit. There's my cousin. And these are ball shots. Good old cousin. Okay. And then, so let's see if you can see this. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. The light's too bright. Let me see if I can lower this. Oops. No, you can't really see it. Well, I'll do a better video later on. But basically, when the video ends, there's a little plus symbol on the lower right-hand corner. You can tap on it, and then you can add your own. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Ball shot. And then you click the arrow, and it tells you videos are public. The more clips a video gets, the more people will see it, learn more. And then you can share it on Facebook. I can undo it, which I'll probably do right now. I don't want to. Oh, let me exit out of there. And then you can share the video, and then your sharing capabilities are pretty much the same sharing capabilities that you would have like with any other video editor or photo editor. You could share it to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. It doesn't really matter. However, that if you do share it to somebody that doesn't have Riff, they might have to install it to be able to view the video. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this is a very basic video, at very basic application. It'll tell you how many videos are in the collaboration. It'll tell you how many people have watched the video. Let's see if it tells you who actually did the video. It won't tell you who did the video. Yeah, there's like nothing with regards to like explaining exactly how any of this stuff works, but it's pretty simple. And yeah, I'm gonna play around with it for a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, let me know. LazyTechGuys.com is our website. Comments at LazyTechGuys.com is our email address, or you can call us at 707-722-5299. Again, this is just a beta. I might be doing this every night, maybe every other night. All depends on if I'm up, if I'm down, if I'm awake, if I'm tired. Either way, I just want to keep you guys informed if you're watching live, if you're watching after the fact. So thank you very much for your time, and we will talk to you guys soon. Peace.